up on Longhorn Extra. The Big 12 survives, but the conference commissioner does not. Find out what the new era of the Big 12 holds. And Emmanuel Acho, we know he has a nose for the football, but does he have an ear for catchy songs? If he doesn't, it will cost him.
Hey, y'all, how you doing? Get your feet under you.
I'm doing pretty good. Her goal is to deny, but Texas goaltender Alexa Gall opens up for our mics as we keep Austin wired. What's going on, everybody? A lot to get to here on Longhorn Extra. We have some news coming up about a big blow to the Texas offense. We'll let you know how much time John Harris, the wide receiver, could miss. With that, welcome into Longhorn Extra, the show that is as Texas as the ACC. I meant to say as Texas as the Pac-12. Check that one more time. As Texas as the Big 12. That's right. The conference is staying together. I'm Lowell Galindo here with the guy that my sources describe as Kevin Dunn. But as you know, when it comes to stories like this, those sources, sometimes they happen to be wrong.
No, your source is right on this one, at least.
You are Kevin Dunn.
I am Kevin Dunn. Now, we've heard almost every scenario for conference realignment. There is one thing that we do know for sure, though. After the Big 12 conference almost vanished for the second time in just over a year, League Commissioner Dan Beebe is out. The Big 12 said its board of directors and Beebe reached a mutual agreement for him to leave the job immediately. Former Big 8 Commissioner Chuck Ninus will serve as interim commissioner. He was a unanimous selection by Big 12 university presidents on a conference call Thursday. The Oklahoman reported Tuesday that OU would commit to the Big 12 only if the conference ousted Beebe and added regulations on Longhorn Network. Beebe had this to say about his departure Thursday: "It is satisfying to know the Big 12 conference will survive, and I congratulate the members for taking strong action to ensure a bright future as a premier intercollegiate athletics conference. With great fondness, I wish the Big 12 conference a long and prosperous future." Well, for more on Beebe's replacement in the Big 12, we welcome in the Big 12 blogger for ESPN.com, David Ubben. David, Dan Beebe is gone. What do we know about his replacement, Chuck Ninus?
Well, he's dealt with pretty much everybody in the Big 12. 7 of the current 10 athletic directors in the Big 12 were recommended to their current schools by Chuck Ninus, a guy that everyone in the Big 12 is pretty excited about because he's so respected around the country, and so many athletic departments have dealt with him. But it's also important to note that he's only the interim commissioner for now, and he's not a candidate to be the permanent replacement for Dan Beebe, but definitely a guy that was unanimously put in this position by the Big 12's board of directors.
Well, it seems like most think it's a given the Big 12 is staying together in some form now. Is there any scenario in which the Big 12 falls apart?
Well, we'll see. Right now, there's just kind of a pretty clear commitment to being in the spot that they want to be in and establish some stability. But tonight, Oklahoma and Missouri both had simultaneous press conferences, and Oklahoma seemed much more sure of the Big 12's future than Missouri did. And so we'll see how that plays out in the future. But for now, it looks like the Big 12 will be moving toward a 6-year commitment and giving their media rights to the conference, which definitely helps in terms of stability. Okay,
I know it's a crystal ball scenario, but do you think in the end Missouri stays in the Big 12?
I do. I think they know that's what's best for them. But we had reports over the week or earlier in the week of an offer from Missouri to the SEC, and I think they understand that's not a great fit. A fit as the Big 12, but I think the only conference that Oklahoma that Missouri would seriously consider leaving the Big 12 for would be the Big 10, and really make that happen. But for now, it looks like Missouri's in the Big 12, and the league is moving toward trying to establish some stability and doing everything it can to make that happen.
I think we're all sick of all the off-the-field talk. This is a pretty good conference on the field, and there's a top 10 game in the league with OSU at Texas A&M. Oklahoma State is averaging 601 yards per game. They've done it through the air. They've done it on the ground. What is the most important aspect of their offense to stop?
Well, I think you gotta take Justin Blackman away from them some, or at least manage what he's doing, because he can completely change a game. He's the best player in the Big 12, and I think if you can do that, you still are open to so many other weapons for Oklahoma State. Josh Cooper, their running back, Joseph Randall, off to a great start. Obviously, Brandon Whedon, we know what he's able to do. But Cooper's really underrated, and Oklahoma State has the second best receiving core in the conference, a really deep unit. But the thing is, the thing that gives Oklahoma State, some difficulty with it, the reason why A&M has a chance to knock them off is A&M has the offense that can outscore Oklahoma State. No team kept Oklahoma State under 33 points last year with Blackman on the field, and that's important to note. So if you're going to beat Oklahoma State, you're going to have to score a lot of points. Oklahoma needed 47 to do it. Nebraska needed 51 last year to do it. So you got to have an offense.
David, we appreciate it. David Ubben, Big 12 blogger for ESPN.com. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks.
The fade, there's Blackman, and there he is. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. Making a mess, he's in. Touchdown, Aggies. Randall over the top, touchdown, Oklahoma State. On the outside, look out, Grave, the corner, he's in.
Fires over the middle, the pass is caught, and into the end zone. Pistols firing, touchdown, Oklahoma State.
It turns out Dana Holgorsen wasn't the entire brains behind the Oklahoma State offensive machine. It's also apparent that even though new play caller Todd Monken clearly knows what he's doing, the Cowboys' offense is at its best when their quarterback doesn't do what the play caller tells him to do. Over the past 2 years, Brandon Whedon and Justin Blackman have more touchdowns off fades than buildings named after T. Boone Pickens. But according to Whedon, every successful fade to Blackman has started as a run call, with Whedon changing that call with a little glance at the Blitnikoff winner. For Whedon, ignoring his offensive coordinator is all about the percentages. He says it always works, but the science of the success comes down to his go-to receiver.
At 6'1", with 34-inch arms and a 33-inch standing vertical leap, from a standstill, Justin can get a hand on the ball nearly 11 feet in the air, a reach greater than Plexico Burress's standing range, even though Plexico is 4 inches taller. But monster range doesn't help unless you can adjust the passes that are off target.
I'm just going to throw you a bad pass. You can catch anything.
I can catch anything.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Of all the acrobatic catches Blackman made in our lab, the most impressive ones were snags made on balls over 3 feet behind him. How does he do it? Identifying the underthrown pass, Blackman throws his right shoulder back 70 degrees in just 23/100ths of a second before takeoff. By doing this, he converts his linear momentum to angular momentum. In the half second Blackman is airborne, he makes minor adjustments to ensure his hands intersect with the ball's trajectory. And just as a figure skater uses his arms to control the speed of his spin, Blackman controls his rate of rotation with the extension and retraction of his arms.
I think it's very important to be able to make last-minute adjustments in the air. That's what separates the best from the good.
With a running start and his incredible ability to adjust on the fly, Justin Blackman can create a target for a quarterback that's about the size of a 2-car garage. For ESPN Sports Science, I'm John Brinkus.
Yeah, this Justin Blackman kid, pretty good. On top of leading the nation a season ago in receiving yards per game and overall touchdowns. He also led college football going back to the start of last season in touchdown catches of at least 20 yards with 12 overall.
Former Texas and current Cincinnati Bengals running back Cedric Benson is facing a 3-game suspension for violating the personal conduct policy. The Midland League grad will first have a hearing on his appeal Tuesday. The 28-year-old Benson was released from an Austin jail on September 3rd after serving 5 days to settle 2 misdemeanor assault cases. He is expected to be available for Sunday's game against the 49ers. One of the promising young receivers in the conference is UT redshirt freshman John Harris. Harris has sustained a left foot injury and has been ruled out of next week's game against Iowa State.
Not so much a turn and run. It's a drop step, opening up that footwork, okay? Working on that step.
Texas soccer less than 24 hours away from its conference opener and helping us keep Austin wild. Also coming up a Longhorn Extra, Manuel Ocho leads the Texas defense to the tune of 4 tackles for loss. But can he name that tune before me? Find out.